What did you make, Charlie, of Manchester United's performance last night?
Just what we're used to, I guess. They've been good for the last few weeks. You have the international break probably come for the wrong time for them. But I look at it now more than anything is that you go against 10 men, that's fine. With players, it's sometimes tough to break down. It is tough against 10 men. But players have got to take accountability. It's all right hiding behind the managers, but you're on the pitch, you've got leaders, characters. And the biggest eye-opener, and I think the alarming bit was how much they missed and relied on Matheus Cunha.
Jamie?
Yeah, he talks about complacency. I think it's on the manager. That last night was, really and truthfully, you look at the performance, you know, massive chance for them to get themselves up into the top four against a decent Everton side. They go down to 10 men and you lose the game. That's on the manager. You know, Gary Neville touched on it there. They're playing 5 at the back. And when they go down to 10 men, the first thing the manager should do is put on an attacking player and take a centre-half off. You do not need 3 players at the back. And I think he's out of his depth. And we've been hoodwinked into thinking that over the last month or so they've had a couple of decent performances, a couple of decent results. He's miles off it. Miles off it. That's look, Charles, I agree with you over the complacency, you know, with the players as well. But a manager to not change his tactics when they've gone down to 10 men and you leave 5 at the back, but that's ridiculous.
But you say hoodwinked on the results that they've obviously had. That's because they've been so below par since obviously he's come in. And we talked about him and his tactics, this kind of stuff. However, the players have to contribute to the match day result, don't they? And I get they're going out there, but we've done it as players. You go across the white line, now you're out there. Yes, he's chosen a team and picked the 11, the tactics, but you've still got to go and perform.
But you still need the gaffer to help you out, don't you?
Yeah, but they've
if you're a striker and you're looking over at the gaffer going, they're down to 10 men, I'm still playing up front on my own. You're saying, gaffer, help me out, put someone up with me.
Of course, but Premier League players surely use their IQ that, right, we can move forward at least. We know how hard it is to break down a block of 10 men behind the ball, of course, but surely it's Manchester United. Or, however, are we now looking at it because of them results where they've done well the last 4 or 5 games? Are you thinking, right, they've made progression? Or is it just going to be the same old Man United?
I think the manager's so arrogant, Tom. He's so arrogant in his formation that he is so hell-bent on saying, I'm playing 3-4-3. This is the formation that works for me. I'm not changing my philosophy, regardless of what happens. A game changes. Over 90 minutes in a game, in-game management as a manager, you've got to adapt. Things happen. Things change. You might have a player sent off. They have a player sent off. Use the numerical advantage that they had last. They didn't use the advantage that they had because they had 3 players standing at the back marking 1 player. So it was pointless having Everton down to 10 men because they didn't do anything about it.
There was someone there, Charlie, messaging on WhatsApp saying that why did they need 3 centre-backs against Tierno Barry on his own, which I think is the point is one of the points Jamie's making. I remember you saying, Charlie, that when Manchester United picked up their form, we weren't talking about the formation anymore, like we were every single day, it seemed, when they weren't doing so well. But, and the formation has been working lately, but they haven't been playing against 10 men.
No, they haven't. And I guess that's where you go on about where you have to adapt to certain...
It was Chelsea, I suppose.
Yeah, but you have to adapt to certain scenarios, right, and certain situations. But regardless, we play 3 centre-halves against 1. Well, surely they've got enough about them, enough experience in that back 3 to go 1 in front, 1 in behind, and then you just tuck in.
But
you just move into the position.
Shaw's got a lot of England caps. De Ligt has got a
well, that's what I'm saying.
lot of caps. They do have a lot of experience. They've got Bruno Fernandes caps. That was not a young team who needed the manager to say, you've got to press forward.
That's what I'm saying. So surely you can make them decisions on the pitch also. Experienced players. Yes, you got the manager. I'm not saying go against the manager. Of course not at all times. But you can feel it on the pitch. You can change it. Them leaders on the pitch should be able to make changes and make decisions for themselves during the game. Yes,
I think they're scared, though, Charles. I think they're scared. I think the players at Man United are scared to make decisions.
But what's that say about Man United then, Jay?
Well,
like, what's that say? If you've got players, this is why the spotlight's on Matheus Cunha, because he's someone that's there carrying the badge, carrying the Man United shirt, and playing like a Manchester United player of old. Yeah. And now you've got players on the pitch that are scared to make decisions. That's ridiculous.
Well, Bruno Fernandes was on the pitch.
Yeah, but Bruno Fernandes, he's not. It can't be a one-man band, right? You've got to have quality around you. You've got to have players that can make a difference. You know, and there's, you know, finding spaces, finding gaps. When I was watching the game last night, not only did they have 3 at the back, but there was moments when it goes out to the winger, Ahmad's a good player, by the way, and I like him. He was decent last night, and he'll have a go. But when he's turning back, His pass is 20 yards backwards. Instead of it being 5 yards backwards or 5 yards inside, where you can keep the pressure. When you watch Bournemouth play, Tom, they're a brilliant example of how to pin teams in. They'll pin you in. They'll keep getting crosses in the box. They head it out. There's someone on the edge of the box, chest it, back out, another cross. They keep the pressure on. Man United, they don't keep the pressure on you. They let you out because they haven't got the belief to go and press high because they're so scared about getting done in behind because they've got no pace at the back that they don't go and let players go in and stand on the edge of the box. When you watch it, it's unbelievable. The gaps between the three centre-halves standing at the back and the midfielders of Man United. They're scared. Go and step in, take a risk and believe in yourself that you can pin a team in and eventually the chances will come. But they have one cross, gets headed out, Everton on the break.
When we've been talking the last few weeks, Jamie, about Manchester United getting into the top four, and we've been asking the viewers that as well. We've got Manchester United fans on to talk about it. We'll be getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, I mean...
Be honest. Like, I'm saying yes. No, I'm saying yes because of...
You think they can get in the top four?
No, I'm saying we're getting ahead of ourselves because of the reaction of them... and that's just a quick reaction because they've won back-to-back games and some teams are dropping off. You can't... I'm not saying you can't forget about last season. They was really poor. They underachieved massively. So you're not just going to flip it. It's the same manager. They've signed a couple of new players, etc. But for me, I think that's not happening. That's getting way ahead of themselves.
I think the Premier League, when you look at it, I mean, look, Aston Villa have picked up and all of it because everyone was kind of forgetting that Aston Villa are a really good team with a top manager. So, I think there's clubs there who you don't expect to maybe last till the end of the season. Man United need to kick on, and you're seeing Liverpool down there. Are they going to stay down there? Tottenham have dropped away. So, do I think Man United get in the top four? No, I don't. But I didn't think they were a million miles away from it.
Right, well, Sky Sports are partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan the QR code on your screen right now or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. We're joined by Manchester United fan KG. KG, good morning to you. Just how embarrassing a defeat was that for you last night? And I mean because it was against 10 men, nothing to do with Everton.
Well, no, the embarrassment is the 10 men. It's when it happens. You think you've been given a gift. Their players are fighting, and you're like, well, we have to win this game. It went from anything can happen to there's no excuses for a loss here. Like, similar to what the manager said. And I think, like, you're both on the money when you talk about it, like, O'Hara, Austin, you both, when you say who's it on, I'm going to give the blame both sides. I don't think there's nothing about the, when you talk about the three centre-backs, that's not really the issue. It's the fact of intensity. We go into games and I'm not seeing what we're looking for. Their players are fighting and we're scratching our heads. We can't be doing that. So I can't believe what happened yesterday. I'm still trying to get over it, really.
KG, do you think that I said that the spotlight's on Matheus Cunha? He's the first Man United player signing that's come in and looked like a Manchester United player. But I think he's the one that ignites the speed, the tempo, gets everybody else behind him. And yesterday was so highlighted that without him, Manchester United just go back to the same old from what I guess we've seen for the whole time Almiron's been in charge.
No, I disagree. I think it's more like with Man United, very early in the game, you'll kind of tell what type of team we're going to be today because we're Jekyll and Hyde performances. One day we decide we're going to press. You've seen us against Liverpool. You've seen us in really difficult games when we look up for it. Even the Tottenham game, you saw good intensity. Yes, we lost it at the end, but then some days we turn up in games like this. This kind of reminds me of, it felt like Grimsby again. Like, it felt that level of embarrassment. What are we doing? And these are pros. You can't tell me because Matheus Cunha's not there, we're not delivering. But then when you can question the manager, it's the wing-backs. Mazraoui getting forward to be your attacking player, you're not getting anything from him. And Dorgu looks lost as well. He should have made changes there, and he waited to second half. When Mason Mount came on, we saw a bit more, but it's just everyone was bad. And I think what Gary Neville was saying in regards to they believe for something and they're not there yet. Mentally, they're not there yet.
KG, do you think, like, the manager is out of his depth, though? Like, when you're managing Man United, in-game management, whenever I see him, he makes mistakes, he gets things wrong.
Well, I would say with personnel, in game management is questionable, I can't lie. But then 1 minute we're praising him because he's kind of getting it right and the tactics are work. When we're playing with intensity, no one questions free at the back. We're winning those games, but I feel like he's very emotional. He scares me with his audio bites when he says, I'm worried about us becoming what we were last season, or I'm worried about. It's almost he shows confidence, then he shows fear, and it's hard to get behind him because you don't know if he's coming or going. This is a guy that said he would walk one day, maybe. We can't hear that. We need him to be strong, lead from the front, and the players need to buy into him. And I think certain times you just don't know. Emotional guy.
But KG, you say about being intensity in the games like against Liverpool and against Spurs, but that's a given. Man United going to Anfield, got a result. You expect Man United to go there and play full intensity, full flat out. And picking up on your comments on Amorim, he sees that team day in, day out. Yes, he's the flagship. Yes, he's the manager. He's the one who picks the teams, right? But maybe he's just saying he's seeing little bits of what happened last year and made them slip into the position he had. Not a sound bites for everybody else or for the fans, etc. If anything, it's more of a worry for me if I was a Man United fan looking at it thinking, well, if he's still seeing signs of last season, well, he needs to cut that out straight away.
And I don't know what to do because we got rid of the players. Apparently, there was, the bomb squad, as they called them. We got rid of the bad eggs. And now you're saying, well, these are all your guys. So there's no excuses. The manager's job is to get the players up for every game. But then the players, once they cross the line, as you guys said, I haven't experienced it. But once you're on the pitch, it's up to you guys. And I saw two players, they're fighting each other to make sure no one gets in behind. Where's that from Man United? That's it. We should be more embarrassed that you did that. You delivered that performance in front of the home fans. No fan deserves to spend their money to go and watch their team. And then this is what they're seeing. It's a lack of fight, a lack of accountability. You can't tell me because the system, I wasn't going to be there. Or I'm not going to, get a shot on target. We took 20 shots, 5 on target. I can't even remember the 5 on target.
In Amorim's defence, in terms of getting more attacking players on the pitch, on the bench, I mean, Mason Mount is, an attacking midfielder. He's not, he's not going to score a lot of goals, etc. He was on the bench and he came on. The only other player on the bench I would say was an attacker was Shea Lacey, who's a youngster, and he's, OK, fair enough, you could give him a chance. It happened with Rashford years ago, and that worked. But is there actually a lack of depth up front? You've certainly got quality up front in that front three of yours, but are you lacking depth now that Højlund's gone, now that Rashford's gone, etc.? Garnacho.
Well, this is the thing. This is the manager lives and dies by his decision. I'm not going to say I miss Garnacho, but then, and Rasmus weren't lining it up. But we have to say, now Šeško's out and you've lost Cunha, all of a sudden you're looking at the bench and Xerxes not been a high volume scorer anyway. I don't think he even classes himself as a true 9. So you're wondering where the goal's coming from. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like everything doom and gloom. In Buemo, he's hit the ground running. I think he's been better than Cunha. And he had there was little moments yesterday, but I think we just have to be honest and say we were disgraceful. And what scares me the most is we got Crystal Palace next. So we're going to go into the cycle of it's going to be bad for Man United for a few weeks. We're a yo-yo club. That's what we're consistently inconsistent. That's who we are at the moment.
KG, did you, going into that game last night, we're going about the players, complacency and all that. What did you honestly expect from last night? Do you expect to win?
Well, I had a great week because obviously O'Hara, his team lost massively. And I was like, this is the week. Liverpool lost, City lost. I was like, it's our time. Top 4, near Christmas. I'm starting to dream about, we spoke before and we're talking about, can you get into Europe? And I'm looking at you definitely. Now
so you was complacent, mate, yeah? So you was complacent.
I think that was the answer. KG, we'll just end with a quick one. Did you think it was a red card for Idrissa Gueye?
Absolutely. Shouldn't be in the game, mate.
Well, it didn't help you in the end. KG, great to speak to you. Thank you.